Well, good morning, softball fans, and welcome to the Ontario University Championship Sunday. It is the semifinal. We are right underway. Laurier out on the field, Windsor at the plate. Leading off for Windsor, it is Jade Melwish-McGaughan. They are fresh off a 7-0 win over Queens, avenging their opening game loss yesterday morning. Laurier, Joe Todd, took a bit of a beating at the hands of the University of Toronto, 10-0 on the downside for Laurier. They've got to erase that from their memory and get right back on the horse.
Yeah, they just were not sharp in that game at all mentally, so gave up a lot of walks and a lot of wild pitches. Got to be a lot better in this game.
Called a strike to Melwish-McGaughan, leading things off for Windsor. She'll be followed by Kylie Hickey and then Emma Hanley. 1, 2, 3 in the order for the Lancers, as it's been most of the weekend. Toss down to first to complete the strikeout for the Laurier Hawks. Pitching is Haley Shackle. Behind the dish is Olivia Shattuck. Defensively, it's Lauren Art in left field, Brooke Cameron in center. Out and right, it's Olivia Solis, and then around the horn on the infield. Anza Mion is at third base. Shortstop is Avery Hilpert. At second base, Maddie Halstead, and at first, it's Emma Deagle. Kylie Hickey to the plate. This one bowled in by Shackle. Windsor in full throat, Joe, right up the fence and right into this one right away. They got up early in the game against Queens and rolled to that 7-0 win. Two hopper on the infield out to the shortstop, Hilpert on to first for second out of the inning.
Nice high bounce out there to Hilpert to get that second out.
And that'll bring up Emma Hanley for the Windsor Lancers. Stays down and gets under the glove of Hilpert, and aboard with a single is Emma Hanley. She was looking for that hop to come up like the last one did, Joe, and it just stayed down and went right under the glove.
Need to get over a little bit, too, and try and keep that ball in front of her. Try and block that ball with your body.
McKay Collum to the plate, cleanup batter for Windsor. Floats in a changeup and a good one. 45 miles an hour on the change from Shackle. Swings over the top. Jumps out in front, 0-2. Blair Sedford, Joe Todd with you on Softball Premier TV. If you're just getting in with us, we are starting early. It's the semi-final game here at the Ontario University Championship. The winner of this one will face Toronto in the gold medal game. If you're on the short side, you finish in third and go home with a bronze. Swing and a miss, a real good changeup again from Shackle. Joe looks like her go-to pitch early. Strands the single. We'll go to the home half with Laurier coming to the plate. Back here for the bottom of the first inning. Again, if you're just getting in with us here on Softball Premier TV, Blair Setford, Joe Todd for the semifinal game, the Ontario University Championships. Windsor, the visitors, are now out on the field. Laurier, the home team, coming to the plate. Laurier University, of course, Joe, in the Kitchener-Waterloo area, almost side by each with the University of Waterloo. Windsor is about as far southwest Ontario as you can get. Just south of Detroit, I would add in, for our American audience.
Windsor with a 13-5 record.
Avery Hilpert, first pitch swinging, and she's going to be aboard with a hard hit single, although they try to throw her out at first from right field. I guess if you hit it that hard and it gets out there that quick, they had the right to try that. It rarely works, but nonetheless, Avery Hilpert aboard with a first pitch single. That'll bring up Brooke Cameron. She'll be followed by Amy Hughes. Defensively for Windsor, it's Jade Melwish-McGaughan out on the board. That one is in for a strike. She's pitching to Ella Duncan-Rita. Left to right across the outfield, it's Emma Hanley, Lauren Hickey, and Elise Stamler is the flex player out in right field. Chopper on the infield, Melwish-McGaughan over to first and dug out by Johnson over at first.
She was the girl that got the bad bounce at shortstop playing short. Ball come up and caught her just above the lip. Good to see she's okay and back on the playing field.
Indeed, I saw her yesterday sitting with a cold compress pressed up against her cheek. There's a little slow roller out to second. Hickey looks, and there's the bluff throw from Johnson, but I think they'll be happy, Joe, just to get the out there. Melwish-McGaughan doing a good job, Joe, just keeping the ball on the ground. If you can get those slow rollers to your infield all morning long, you'll be quite happy.
Laurier have to get the bats going. They only got 2 hits this morning in that game.
Well, Toronto has just been a steamroller here this weekend. They've won their last 2 games by a combined score of 20-0. This one is well hit to deep right. Going back and able to track that down is Stamler. Elise Stamler goes well back and makes the catch. A good play to end the inning. Scoreless through 1, just getting underway here in the Ontario University softball semifinal game on Softball Premier TV. Top of the second inning, and it'll be Ella Duncan-Rita leading things off. The 5 batter for Windsor. Duncan-Rita, Ali DeFore, and Celine DePape. 5, 6, and 7 in the Windsor order. 1, 2, 3, 4 hopper out to short, and a good strong arm on display there from the shortstop, Hilpert. Avery Hilpert, who was an arrival this morning, I thought I heard you guys say in the morning game.
Yeah, she was a real good addition to this lineup. She was at a wedding yesterday, so unable to play in the game.
To hopper back to the pitcher, Shackle, and 3 pitches, Joe, and we're 2 outs into the inning. We got 1 more out to get here. Can have a very efficient inning, as they say. Oh, there's a good look at the overhead shot here of the Napanee Fairgrounds, where we've been all weekend. Host of many Canadian championships over the years. Celine DePape at the plate. And there's a little squib down the line, tagged out. And Joe, that's about as efficient an inning as you can get with about 7 or 8 pitches, and that's it. Home half of the second inning for Laurier. Hawks at the plate. Joe, it's amazing sometimes how efficient these innings tend to get when a lot of the batters are up there going after the first pitch. You get 6, 7 pitch innings and you're out of the inning. That's about as good as it gets there for efficiency. We got Maddie Halstead, Lauren Art, and Haley Shackle. 5, 6, 7 for the Laurier Golden Hawks. Mel Wishmagon is struggling to find the plate here. 2 balls and 1. Just a beautiful fall day here in Napanee at the fairgrounds. Spectacular colors, the backdrop for the batters. Looking out to the trees beyond the fence. Line shot just over the head of the shortstop, Celine DePape. And aboard with the second base hit of the game for Laurier is Maddie Halstead. Give a shout out to Dad Casey Halstead, a longtime friend of ours.
Second inning in a row that Laurier have had the leadoff batter on. Stranded her at third base back in the first inning.
Lauren Art, left fielder for Laurier. Hard hit ball, but that's foul down the left side.
Good turn of the hands there by Art.
Joe, our umpires for this one?
Home plate is Chris Carroll. At first base is Steve Gallagher. And at third base is Conrad Hall.
Some Eastern Ontario content. Just outside from Mel Wishmagon. And upstairs. Hard hit shot in and out of the glove of Column down at third base. Joe, you get it by her, you've done something. She was very impressive at third yesterday.
Good hard hit ball, though.
So 2 leadoff singles for Laurier here in the top of the second inning. Threatening. Haley Shackle, the pitcher, can help her cause. And this one is going to fall in past a diving right fielder, Elise Stamler. That's going to roll around. Here comes Halstead. She scores. Hot on her heels comes Lauren Art all the way from first base. And a 2 RBI double for Haley Shackle indeed helps her cause and puts the Golden Hawks out in front 2-0.
Haley Shackle took that outside pitch and drove it out to right field, driving in the first 2 runs of the game.
Still nobody down here in the bottom of the second inning. Anza Mion now to the dish, third base for Laurier. And Joe, this will be something that the Hawks really will need after the Toronto game. Get the offense on track, get a couple of runs on the board.
Well, they've doubled their output already with 4 hits so far, matching the 2 they had in that 9 o'clock game.
Doesn't get the call.
If you're Windsor, you want to shut the door.
That's poke foul down the left side, so we'll stay alive in the box. 2-2. Joe, you look back over the weekend, and there's been some terrific ball games. Windsor's been involved in a couple. We had that slugfest yesterday with Laurier and York. That one is going to get up the middle, and held up at third is Haley Shackle. Good bit of hitting there by Mion to just put the bat out into the zone and let the ball do the work. Right back up the middle.
4 consecutive hits now for Laurier.
That'll take us down to Olivia Solis, the 9 batter in the order, and I don't see any stirring, Joe, in the Windsor dugout for pitching, but the coach quick to jump out after you said the 4 consecutive base hits.
I'm sure they're just trying to slow the pace down now, trying to change the momentum. Good time to just go out and have a chat.
Well, Melwish McGaughan has been their ace over the course of the season. She was one of the players of the week, and was she not one of the pitchers of note?
Yes, she was. Yep.
In the West. Turns and squares, but bunts it foul. That wasn't a bad idea. Caught a couple of people by surprise there. Although I didn't see Shackle very far off at third. Maybe not quite on the same page there. You always want to make sure your runner knows you're going to do that. You just brush the helmet or something and give a little signal to the runner. Stays alive in the box, reaches out and fouls that one back. Called strike 3. Big first out for Jade Melwish McGaughan. Back to the top of the shop, Avery Hilpert, who singled leading off the game. This one is drilled, but that's going to go foul down the right field line by about 10 feet. Boy, she was right out in front of that one. Whatever she got, she was looking for it.
Avery in her senior year at Laurier, looking for the Masters of Social Work degree.
She and Brooke Cameron, 1-2 in the order, the two graduating students this year for Laurier. This one is poked out to left. Shackle tags. Throw is going to get cut off, and she scores easily. So an RBI sac fly for Avery Hilpert, and Laurier tack on another here. All three of those first three batters have now come around to score. Brooke Cameron at the dish, grounded back to Melwish Magan in the first inning. And an aggressive swing fouls that one straight back to the screen.
Cameron playing center field today. She's also done a lot of pitching over the weekend.
The three remaining teams, Joe, one of the things that would set them apart from me would just be that they've got more than one pitcher able to get some quality outs, quality innings.
Yeah, you need that depth in your roster.
U of T with at least three quality pitchers. Laurier with a couple. Windsor's got a couple too. And that's really the difference maker. Foul back out of play.
Yeah, these teams play actually a 5-week compressed schedule, so you got to have that depth. Usually playing either Friday, Saturday, or Saturday, Sunday, or sometimes 3 games.
Yeah, sometimes you're getting 6 games in a weekend. In the dirt from Jada Melwish Magan. Brooke Cameron, 7th batter of the inning. Foul back again, doing a good job of fouling back the good pitches from Melwish Magan. She's getting some corners, but just can't get one by Brooke Cameron here.
Cameron's doing a good job protecting that plate with 2 strikes.
That's up in the air, but it's going to go foul on the other side of the fence. We're going to run out of the balls here before Brooke Cameron's at bat finishes at this rate. Two and two still. Or 3-2. 3-2. Let's go with that. Ground ball to short. Over to first for the final out of the inning. A good at bat ultimately results in a ground out for Brooke Cameron. Laurier, plate 3 here in the bottom of the second inning. We'll go to the top of the third. Windsor is going to gather up and see if they've got an answer. Aubrey Johnson leading things off for the University of Windsor here in the top of the third inning, now trailing by 3 as the Laurier Golden Hawks. 4 straight hits in that inning, Joe. And that's the offense that they were certainly looking for. Couldn't find that against Toronto in the winter bracket final. Coming up with it here in the third place game.
Yeah, good. I'm sure the coaching staff of Laurier are happy to see that positive sign with the offense.
When this is up and away. Down to first to complete the out. So that'll bring up Lauren Hickey, center fielder for Windsor. 9 batter in their order. Little nod of the head from Shackle and in with a strike. Swings over the top. Yeah, that was a real nice pitch. Just took something off it. It died at the plate and fell right off the table.
Then she mixed it up.
Yeah, again, very similar pitch and picks up another strikeout. 4th of the morning for Haley Shackle. She got the trio of groundouts in the second inning, back to the strikeouts here in the third. Back to the top of the shop, Jade Malwish-McGaughan, the opposite number, pitching and hitting leadoff, Joe. You don't often see that, but that's okay. I do like to see pitchers hitting in the lineup. Give them a bit of a stake in the game.
Multi-talented. That's a nice changeup.
Yeah, she's going back to the well here. You can get that pitch in for a strike, use it. Change speeds. That one's upstairs, just lost the release point. Ball 4. Seemed to lose the zone there all of a sudden, Joe.
Yeah. Yeah, I think she had trouble after she threw that second consecutive changeup. She kind of misplaced her release point, as you mentioned. Let's see if she can regain it here.
Kylie Hickey to the plate. Grounded out to short in the first.
She's got to go back to her meat and potatoes pitch now.
There's a little bit of off speed and in for a strike. 45 miles an hour. You can tell it's fall, Joe, when the leaves are starting to fall onto the field. And another changeup, and again in for a strike. Well, Joe, you're right. She went right back to the meat and potatoes. And a third one, and in for a strike again. Kylie Hickey can't get the bat off the shoulder. Haley Shackle strikes out the side, works around that 2-out walk. Has the changeup dialed in right now. Laurier had the bats dialed in too. We'll see if they can keep that roll going. We'll go to the home half of the third. The Hawks coming back up to the plate. Well, now pitching for the Windsor Lancers, it's Allison DeFore as they make the pitching change. Amy Hughes at the plate for Laurier. Hughes the DP, Emma Deagle, and Maddie Halstead. 3-4-5, right in the heart of the order for the Laurier Golden Hawks. And welcome to the game, Allison DeFore. You get to face 3-4-5 batters just to start. In with a little off speed, called a strike down at the bottom of the zone.
Home plate umpire Chris Carroll there.
And that one in for a strike on the inside corner. So coming back from a 3-0 count to run it to full. Allison DeFore finding the strike zone after 3 straight. And that one just misses inside. So a leadoff walk to Amy Hughes. That'll bring up Emma Deagle. She flied out to, let's call it deep right field, Joe. It took an outstanding play by Elise Stamler to run that one down diagonally and backwards to her right.
Probably the best outfield catch I saw all weekend.
It's certainly right up there for sure. Chopper on the infield. Hickey tags on the way by. Toss to first. Call it 2.
Great awareness out there by that second baseman. Turn that double play.
Well, 2 down and your cleanup hitter erased. Maddie Halstead now to the plate. Maddie singled, scored. She set off that chain reaction of 4 straight hits that led to 3 runs for Laurier in the second inning. Swing and a miss over the top of the drop change from Allison DeFore.
Maddie's second year at Laurier, started her first year up at Ottawa.
Is that the vaunted transfer portal that you hear so much about?
Yes.
Didn't know we had that in Canadian university sports. Chuckling at the absurdity of it all.
As long as she doesn't get red carded.
Oh, jeez. Ball 4. Maddie Halstead, a 2-out walk. Lauren Art singled and scored in the second.
Second walk for DeFore this inning.
In for a strike.
DeFore's not scared to get on that inside part of the plate. She's got to have that part.
Hard hit ball past a diving McKay Collum out at third base, and a little 2-out rally here for the Laurier Golden Hawks. 2 straight runners aboard. Lauren Art is 2 for 2 with 2 hard hit balls. We'll bring up the pitcher, Haley Shackle. Haley had the 2 RBI double. An inning ago, we were pretty much in this same position. Upstairs from DeFore.
Wide open stance for Shackle.
Steps into it, drives this one out to right, but right there is Elise Stamler. She'll pull that down. Laurier strand 2. A good inning from Allison DeFore. A good shutdown inning to answer. Windsor need to get the bats on track here to get back into this one. We'll go to the 4th. The Lancers coming to the plate. Well, Joe, you never want to say that it is pressure time when it's only the 4th inning, but boy, if you're Windsor, you would really like to get a run here at least and take some pressure off going into the 5th, 6th, and 7th. But you're in a good spot in the order. Emma Hanley, McKay Collum, Ella Duncan, Rita, 3, 4, 5 for the Lancers. And they've been a hard-hitting team all year, batted 315 or 316 as a team over the course of the season. They've scored a fair bit of runs here this weekend. They lost 2-0 to Queens early, but 3-0 over Western, 11-5 over York, and 7-0 to avenge that loss to Queens early. That 7-0 win earlier this morning. They've got some bats on this team. They just need to get on a roll here.
Yeah, they got to start pecking away. 4th inning. Just 1 hit so far in the game. Give credit to Amy Shackle. 4 strikeouts so far in the game. Just giving up the 1 walk.
She has shackled them, you might say. Swing and a miss.
Pretty good for Sunday morning. Boy.
Make it 5 now, strikeouts. Well, that one was pretty low-hanging fruit, to be honest.
Too easy.
Yeah. Yeah. McKay Collum now for the Lancers. Emma Hanley down on strikes. Little change of pace, and well out in front is McKay Collum. She has been a stalwart defensively, Joe, over at third base. I think you talked about the best outfield catch earlier, the best infield play I've seen. She laid out for a ball that took her into foul territory, got to her knees, rifled a throw across as she goes down on strikes, and it was dug out of the dirt by first base Aubrey Johnson. It was an outstanding play on both ends, and that for me was the infield play of the weekend.
Just struck out there on 2 consecutive changeups by Shackle.
In for a strike on the outside corner. She's been working that change in very effectively. She and Olivia Shattuck behind the plate. Intercepted over at third, and a really strong arm from Onza Mion. And Laurier, another shutdown inning from Haley Shackle. Golden Hawks looking golden right now, Joe. we'll go to the bottom of the fourth inning. The Laurier Golden Hawks looking to add to this lead. Allison DeFore able to work around a couple of base runners in the third in her first inning of relief after starter Jada Melwish-McGaughan gave up 3 in the second. One and one now to Anza Mion. She got the last out, Joe, in the top of the inning. Boy, I was impressed with the way she came up throwing. She lifts this one out to left on the run, but not able to track that one down in foul territory is Emma Hanley. She came up and made a really strong throw defensively to end the top of the inning. The athleticism in this league, Joe, continues to get better and better every year.
And the parity has really crossed and shown this year.
Chase is outside off the corner. That's a good pitch from Allison DeFore. Gets me on to Chase.
Defore's first strikeout.
Olivia Solis to the plate, the 9 batter for the Laurier Golden Hawks. Up the middle, ranging across is Kylie Hickey. She makes a good throw to get Solis.
Good range there by Hickey.
She went way over to her right, almost got to the bag. You just saw her there in close-up.
Good crossover on the feet movement.
Good mechanics. Top of the shop, Avery Hilpert. Single and a sac fly RBI. Back in the second inning. Here now in the bottom of the fourth. You got to look at some of the trees there in the background, just starting to turn colors. We've got lots of golden and orange out there. It's a lovely backdrop. Just off the outside corner from DeFore. Just the backdrop with the trees, Joe, just reminds me a little bit, that specific part of Softball City out in Surrey, British Columbia, where you and I spent a week earlier this year. This one is laced out to center and making a running catch. Lauren Hickey with a web gem. A 1-2-3 inning for Allison DeFore and the Windsor Lancers. They needed that one, Joe, to get some momentum on their side. We'll see if they can carry that to the sticks. Coming up, top of the fifth. We're moving along here in this third place game at the Ontario University Softball Championship on Softball Premier TV. So Allison DeFore goes from the pitching circle to the batter's box. First pitch swinging, she hammers this one right back up the middle for a solid single. Just the second hit of the game, Joe Todd, for the Windsor Lancers. And you talk about helping yourself. Maybe you get some momentum on your side right now.
Good punch there by DeFore. DeFore also a graduating student, graduating with a psychology degree.
Well, she's going to get a pinch runner. Number 9 is coming on to pinch run. We'll get you her name in a moment. Alexis Russell on to run.
Right, Windsor has 12 out, 9 in, and 18
You can
out,
hear the
6
changes
in.
being made by our home plate umpire, Chris Carroll. Celine DePop to the plate for Windsor. On the move and sliding in safe, gets around the tag. The throw just inside from Shackle. First time, Joe, they've been able to get a runner to second base. Here's a little flare down the right side. That's going to fall in and kick away from everybody. And here comes Russell. She's going to score. And up to second base with a seeing eye double is Celine DePop. That ball took a Windsor bounce when it hit the grass. And it ran away from Olivia Solis, the right fielder. Maddie Halstead was out there in the area. Same with Emma Deagle. Nobody could track it down.
Hit them where they're not.
Well, hit them where they're not and then get a big break, too. So an RBI double for DePop gets Windsor on the board. Nobody down here in the fifth. And, Joe, we talked about some urgency now for the Windsor Lancers. Aubrey Johnson to the plate. This one is hit hard, but it's foul down the left side. Dancing out of the way, the third base coach with a bit of a glance back to her batter. How about you hit that in fair territory, as I'm sure the thought going through her mind.
She's backing up and moving out of that coach's box.
Yeah,
now.
I don't blame her. I've been there. Good changeup and a good time for it. Snap throw down, and they give up the base, but they get the out on the bobble in the dirt. Some good alert base running by Celine DePop to head down to third on that throw to first. And we've got a pinch hitter, Joe, coming on for Windsor. Number 20, Brianna Lee, will pinch hit here for Lauren Hickey.
Nine strikeout for Shackle now. Or I've got 9. Maybe am I out a bit?
I think you're off. I've got 7, but
okay.
I also stand to be corrected here. So we'll do a fingers and toes check in between innings. Brianna Lee pinch hitting. Change up and got her well out in front. That's been an equalizer pitch for Haley Shackle. She's gone to that, Joe, every time she's needed it, and it's bailed her out.
So important to pick up that run.
Called strike 3. The changeup again bends that in on the outside corner.
It's been a great pitch for Shackle all day.
Back to the top of the shop, and Jada Melwish-McGaughan, now effectively the designated player. First pitch swinging and over the top of it.
That pitch is just dancing for her. Just coming in and floating. Just totally bewildering these Windsor Lancers hitters.
That one's down and blocked very adeptly by Olivia Shattuck. Kept the hands back, but still swung over the top of it. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and Shackle looking to bend a little bit here, but not break. Change up again, and I think Melwish-McGaughan is up there looking for the change. She's been able to keep the hands back twice in a row now, Joe. I think you got to go to something else on the outside corner here. Go with the drop. Well, they went out and away, but can't find the strike zone. 2-2 now. Windsor at third, trying to keep this momentum going. There's the changeup, and that's just fouled down the right side this time.
Good pull there by McGosh. Lowish McGon.
Hard hit ball, but good movement by the second base, Maddie Halstead. Had to move 3 steps to her right. Got to first. Windsor scores 1, they strand 1. They need a shutdown inning as we go to the home half of the 5th. Laurier looking for an answer when they come back up. Brooke Cameron leading things off, 2-3-4 for Laurier here in the bottom of the 5th inning. That lead shrunk by 1 to 3-1. Skipped in, and that might have got a bite of Chris Carroll, too. Cameron, Amy Hughes, and Emma Deagle. Oh, nice defense there by Dufour. Reaches out and snags that one. Looked like it was destined to get up the middle.
Good hand-eye reflexes there.
Hughes twice now. She's been out in the direction of Kylie Hickey. Grounded into the double play in the 3rd. Sorry, she was tagged on the double play. This one misses downstairs. 1-1. And we'll make it 1-2 with a foul ball at the plate. Just about an hour into this one. Scheduled 11 o'clock start time, but we got going, Joe, at about 10:40-ish.
Yep.
Both the prior games ending early on the run rule. And with the cooperation of all the teams, we got going early. And Dufour again makes another good defensive play, this one on the backhand. And a pair of ground ball outs to the pitcher.
Great play by Dufour, just to stay on that mound and be prepared when that ball comes back to you.
Emma Deagle. A hard hit ball to right back in the 1st inning. Little bleeder, but that's foul on the right side of the line. Joe, this is one of those fall days where you could play game after game after game, and I don't think anybody would be upset about it. But at the conclusion of this one, we'll know who's going to get the bronze medals. And then we've just got one game left.
Championship Sunday is always just a great time to watch the game and see how these players have improved, and going to be who's going to peak at the right time.
Just misses outside. It certainly looks like Toronto is peaking at the right time. Single championship game.
Toronto Varsity Blues are over practicing on Diamond B.
And upstairs, ball 4 as DeFore puts aboard Emma Deagle, and she'll face Maddie Halstead. A single and a walk with a run scored for Halstead. And this one is lined right back up the middle. It's going to fall in. So she's 2 for 2. Heard somebody calling for a runner, and also don't see anybody coming off the bench. So some indecision there. Do we want a runner or do we not want a runner? We'll have to wait at least one pitch here as Lauren Art steps in. Lauren is 2 for 2 with a run scored. It's a called strike. Fouled into the bench and sends a couple people scampering out of the way. And this one is poked out to left. That's going to fall in for a base hit. We'll load the bases with 2 down. And this looked like a pretty promising inning, Joe, for Windsor. There's a couple of ground ball outs, but a walk and 2 base hits, and suddenly the bases are loaded with 2 down. And Haley Shackle, who's already got 2 RBIs in this game and has hit 2 balls hard. She lined out to right her most recent at bat, but she could salt this one away. This one is fouled back up and out of play.
First real action that Laurier has had a real silent 4th inning. And everything, all this is happening now with 2 out.
Strike to the outside corner, and Joe, you pointed out earlier, Haley Shackle with that wide open stance in the right side batter's box, and then steps into it with that lead foot. Watch as she comes across.
Whatever works for you, but I never really liked that as a coach. Too many moving parts then.
Well, it really closes off the left side of the field for her as she's almost turning her lead shoulder into the pitch at that point. But she can hit the ball hard to the right side, that's for sure. And ball 4, and walks in a run. That's certainly not what Allison DeFore was looking for when she had those 2 quick outs. And now we're going to get a mound visit here from the Windsor coach. Settle things down for Allison DeFore and the Windsor Lancers infield. Onza Mion, scheduled batter, but that's not Onza, Joe. Who's 24 for Laurier? Do we have that?
Miss F. Smith.
Skylar Smith for Laurier, pinch hitting. Bases loaded, 2 out for Laurier. 1 run already in. That's a hard hit ball, but into the Lancers bench. A quick 2 strikes on Skylar. And a called strike 3. Can't get the bat off the shoulder to 4. Works out of a bases loaded jam. But they give up a run on a bases loaded walk. Laurier gets that spread back out to 3. Will go to the top of the 6th. Lancers trailing 4-1. Skylar Smith will stay in the game defensively for Onza Mion. She'll go to third base for Laurier Hawks. His first pitch swinging is Kylie Hickey. You can hear the chant for Kylie Hickey from the Windsor bench. She's been real strong defensively for Windsor over the weekend here. Goes after this one in the dirt from Haley Shackle. She and Olivia Shattuck have worked very well together here, Joe, this morning.
Yeah, they've just done a great job. Both on the same page.
We just jinxed Olivia there as that one goes right through the wickets. Sorry, Olivia.
Broadcaster jinx.
Yeah.
Stepping in.
2 balls, 2 strikes, leadoff batter, Kylie Hickey. Windsor back chasing 3 and fouled off at the plate. That second inning, Joe, really set Laurier up for success here in this one. 4 straight base hits, helps result in 3 runs. They pick up another on a bases-loaded walk in the 5th, but they really grabbed control of the game back in the second inning.
And Lancers with only 3 hits so far in the game. 2 last inning, 1 back in the first inning.
Haley Shackle has done some great work out on the board for Laurier. This one misses upstairs. As we were saying before we jinx them, she and Olivia Shattuck have been right on the same page together with calls for the changeup, have really worked that in effectively. There it is again, and tap foul. Ball 4, so a lead-off walk and a good AB by Kylie Hickey. Emma Hanley has one of the Windsor hits so far. They were able to bunch a couple together in the 5th, and that resulted in their run, but they need to do that multiple times over here in the 6th and 7th, Joe.
Yeah, they just got to get something. There's just too many times that they've walked away. Just here we are now in the top of the 6th inning.
Change up and pulled foul. They've sat on that a little bit last couple of innings, and they haven't been able to drive it into fair territory. So 1-2 on Emma Hanley. And goes out and taps that one foul, but boy, she had to go a long way out to go get that one to stay alive. As you like to say, don't leave it in the hands of the umpire.
Yeah. Stay aggressive. You want to swing that bat.
Change up in there. That one's punched out to left field, right down the line. Lauren Art will go intercept that. The throw gets away from Skylar Smith as she short hopped her on the throw in from left field. Welcome to the game, Skylar. Here's a short hop for you.
Good little potential rally going here for Windsor Lancers.
Well, they've bunched together a walk and a single. Need to keep moving, pass the baton down the line, and I like this move by the Laurier coaching staff. Just go out and slow things down. Break the momentum here on the Lancers side.
Both of the other pitchers for Laurier Golden Hawks, Brooke Cameron and Lauren Art. Cameron playing in center field and Art playing in left field. So if Haley gets in trouble here, those other two pitchers hopefully were throwing on the sidelines.
I haven't seen anybody, Joe. I haven't been looking specifically for it, but I haven't seen anybody warming on the sides. So Shackle has had this under control for the most part. She did give up the run in the 5th and a couple aboard here in the 6th. It's everybody's third look at Shackle now. That one misses upstairs. Collum in particular hasn't been able to figure out Haley Shackle, a pair of strikeouts. There's a hard hit ball. Step on the bag at third, over to first. Dug out. Call it 2. Skylar Smith makes an immediate difference on defense for the Laurier Golden Hawks. And boy, Joe, that can dampen your spirits in a hurry. You hit the ball hard, but it results in a double play. Tough one.
Great play by Smith to go get that ball. Anticipate if that ball's coming to you. What am I doing with it?
Ella Duncan-Rita, catcher for Windsor, will try and keep this inning alive. Emma Hanley went up to second on the play. One hopper in and out of the glove of Maddie Halstead, but she picks that up and fires to first for the final out of the inning. And to extinguish that rally by the Windsor Lancers, defense to the rescue. Well, Joe Laurier, boy, they've bent, but they've not broken the last couple of innings on defense. We'll see if they can push across another run or two here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Olivia Solis, the 9 batter, puts down a little bunt, and they picked it up. And, Joe, I wonder if you let that roll a little bit further, maybe that goes foul. But the Golden Hawks are celebrating with the Hawk dance there. Let's see this again. She puts it down, and I think this, just watch, I think this is going to go, it might have gone foul if you let it. You weren't going to get the runner, so what's the harm and let it go? In any event, aboard with a base hit, and now she's going to get up to second base on the wild pitch. Olivia Solis.
It's not Solis, it's number 25. We have a pinch.
Oh, did we get?
Pinch hitter there coming in.
All right, and who was that? Do we know?
Donnell.
Natalie Donnell. Well done, Natalie. And that one is laced out to left for a base hit. Donnell gets up to third, and Hilpert had a notion to go to second, but retreats back to first. She's hit the ball hard, Joe, 3 times today.
Yeah, one of the captains of this team leader.
Well, they're going to give her second base. But Laurier threatening here to add to the lead. They're up 4-1 in the 6th. Took control of this one in the 2nd. That one is chopped, Blair. Chopped. Foul by Brooke Cameron.
You must have been thinking of the chopped steakhouse.
Well,
potentially.
Maybe. Maybe. Brooke Cameron punches this one out to right center. That's going to split the defense. 2 runs are going to come across. And Brooke Cameron aboard with a stand-up double. Joe, you couldn't have walked that one out there any more perfectly.
Perfectly hit ball right out in the gap there between center and right field. Driving in Hilpert and Donnell.
2 RBIs for Brooke Cameron. Her first hit of the, we're still morning, a couple more minutes. And got another visit from the Windsor coach, and that's going to be it for Allison Dufour. Number 1 is coming in for Windsor. We'll tell you who that is. We get to the lineup card. Celine DePop is going to come in to pitch. Third pitcher of the game for Windsor. That's hard-hitting Laurier team now up 6-1. Oh, this is number 3.
Number 3 is Magosh.
Oh.
Leadoff pitcher.
Yeah, okay, so we're
Starting
back
pitcher.
to
Magosh
Melwish Magon. Yeah, Jada Melwish Magon. So back in. And that's a tough spot, Joe, because you warmed up for the game, you've come out, and now you've got to come back in. And again, I hadn't seen her warming up down the sideline at all. So
no. They're just hoping to stop the bleeding here now. Give themselves a chance.
Melwish Magon pitched the first 2 innings, gave up the 3 runs on the 5 hits.
The Papa's gone to shortstop.
There you see Jada Melwish Magon, concurrent science. Oh, a drop bunt and a real good play by Melwish Magon to come get that. She was the only one that was going to have a play there. Amy Hughes drops down a surprise bunt on the first pitch.
Great play all around. Great
Good
bunt and great defense.
Yeah, good strong throw by Melwish McCon to get Hughes.
Good
Deagle
turn.
laces
Wow.
this one foul and laced foul. Over 2 with a walk and a run scored, but she has hit the ball hard a couple of times.
Good, Brett.
Eight teams came to play in the championship tournament out of the 13 in the league. Called a strike, and Joe, we had thought as we observed the season, maybe the West was a little bit more favored than the East, but Toronto has run roughshod over everybody in their first 3 games. These 2 teams in the Western Division, and one of them is going to advance to the final, so we will get that East-West final.
They've been the dominant team so far.
Fouled straight back to the screen. Laurier, a 2-1 record here. 5-4 over Ottawa, 14-13 in that snowball fight against York, and then dropped a 10-0 decision to Toronto. It's been a little bit longer road for Windsor as this one is smashed down the line, and another run comes in.
Emma Deagle just had a great plate appearance there. Great time at bat. Good hands follow through.
Yeah, she hammered that ball, hit that hard. 7-1 now, Joe, and now we won't have to worry about it as a one-hopper. They down to second, and sliding in safely is Emma Deagle. Maddie Halstead with a little cue shot. Two down in the inning. Lauren Art. Lauren is 3 for 3, Joe. 3 singles, a run scored, having an afternoon. We can say that now at 3 minutes after 12. Good inside pitch. Good movement from Melwish McCon to get Lauren Art to swing over the top of that. This one, a little looper. Caught and to the bag. I guess they're going to say it wasn't a force. I guess they're saying they tagged her on the foot.
Yes.
So some alert defense there by Celine DePop because it was in and out of her glove, but she had the presence of mind. She was going for the force, but she also tagged the runner on the foot. We'll go to top of the 7th. Windsor needs a bunch.
Yep.
Allison DeFore stays in as the designated player. She'll lead things off. She's got one of those 4 hits for Windsor. And she's going to get 2 of them. This one hit out to center, picked off by Brooke Cameron, and she'll hold DeFore to a single. But a well-hit ball.
Good punch there. Just got to get 3 or 4 good hits in a row. You're not going to score 6 runs with one little big home run, so got to take a lot of small bites here.
So coming on to run this time for DeFore is
16.
Tia Nelson on to run.
12 out, 16 in.
Well, you just heard the change right there. Tia Nelson out at first base, running for Allison DeFore. Allison is the designated player, so you may not lose her, depending on how you use that. Low strike call there on Celine DePop. I guess that is a re-entry. You would lose her at this point, wouldn't you?
Yeah, because she went in.
She's already been re-entered once.
Yep.
Yeah. Upstairs to DePop. She had the RBI double down the right field line an inning ago. Make that 2 innings ago in the 5th. Foul back to the screen. Laurier here, Joe, you just need to run them out of outs. You don't need to make any spectacular plays. You don't have to worry about getting a lead runner or anything like that. You just get the easy outs. On the infield, out of the range of Smith, but it's foul. Good defensive play there by the Windsor coach, though. Give credit where credit is due. They've got the rally visors on the Windsor bench. Well, they call for 2. They go over there, and Tia Nelson in with a slide, and she might have bruised a knee. She got a piece of Avery Hilpert, Joe. Nothing intentional, but they did make some contact. You'll see it here in the replay. It was in the helmet, too. I saw the contact. I didn't realize that she got it on the face mask. That'll give you a bit of whiplash. We'll hope that Tia Nelson is okay. She's going to catch her breath. You see her flexing the jaw there. Well, make sure that she is okay as she makes her way off the field, and she gets a round of applause, and deservedly so. We get the trainer to make sure that she is okay. So 1 down. DePop over at first on the fielder's choice. Aubrey Johnson at the plate. Swing and a miss. And up to second goes DePop as that just squirts away from Olivia Shattuck. Laurier looking to book a date in the championship game to get back to that. They had faced Western a number of times over the years, and not with much success, Joe Todd, but maybe they'll try their luck against Toronto.
That changeup has been really good for Laurier. That's been her bread and butter pitch.
There's a live shot from the drone. Softball Premier bringing out all the bells and whistles for you here on Championship Sunday. And there's a line shot out over the head of second, splits the defense. And a run scores for Windsor, and sliding into second, Aubrey Johnson keeps things alive for the Windsor Lancers with an RBI double.
Just a good punch there. Took that outside pitch and drilled it the other way.
Well, Joe, you said it. You're not going to hit a 6-run home run, but you just need to do it one run at a time. There's one of them. 7-2 now for Laurier. And Lauren Hickey. And this one out of the glove and up to third base. And sliding in somewhat unnecessarily is Aubrey Johnson. But a little bit closer. You see the Laurier team just in behind that fence post, but they are all up on the fence. Sorry, the Windsor team all up on the fence. So are the Laurier team for that matter, but I meant to say Windsor. Now this one is hit out to right and can't track it down, Olivia Solis. And here's another run, and then trading places up to second base goes Lauren Hickey. And these final outs, Joe, are proving a little hard to get.
Good consecutive hits here. 3 hits this inning. The most that the Windsor Lancers have had in one inning through the whole game.
Pair of runs and counting, and don't look now, but we're back to the top of the shop for Jada Melwish-McGaughan. And another visit from the Laurier coaching staff, and again, just slowing things down a little bit, interrupt the momentum. Single fielder's choice, back-to-back RBI doubles, has 2 runs across for Windsor here in the top of the 7th inning. They've drawn it a little closer. Now 7-3. And you continue to get that live look from Air Softball Premier. Watch out for the light standards, Luciano. Foul off on the cue shot on the end of the bat, and that's an inside joke for those who follow us on Softball Premier TV. You know that Luciano has made some contact with a couple of light standards over the years.
We're on drone number 3, I believe.
3. For a strike from Haley Shackle. The volume continues from the Windsor bench on the third base side. The intensity gets ratcheted up just a little bit. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Jada Melwish-McGaughan. Swings over that changeup on the outside corner.
Big strikeout.
That is a big out for Haley Shackle. Second out of the inning. Kylie Hickey. Walked and was forced out at third back in the 6th. Fouls this one off. Shackle trying to close the door and book a spot in the final for the Laurier Golden Hawks. And now Windsor down to their final strike.
Will Shackle come through with her changeup? It's been her pitch all game.
There's the change, a swing and a miss, and it'll be Laurier and Toronto in the final. Windsor rally for 2, but it's not quite enough here in the 7th inning. They'll go home with a bronze medal. And it'll be Laurier Golden Hawks and Toronto Blues to fight it out for the Ontario University Softball Championship. We'll bring that one to you on Softball Premier TV. Look one for that one to be starting earlier than the 1 p.m. scheduled start time. Come back with us shortly. Claire Sedford, Joe Todd. Laurier, 7-3 winners, setting up the rematch.
And to Windsor, heck of a season. You just continue to get better every year. And the future for sure looks bright. Lots of great pieces to the team. And with that, I'll call on Francine Sadler, head coach, to come forward and introduce the players.
for the latest in softball innovation, the website where you can experience the best tournaments in the Americas. Live games, news, tournaments, and much, much more. The best quality live softball, on demand so you can watch when you want. Become a